Welcome to the Mental Playbook Podcast. I am here with Lana Kerr, founder and CEO of Lumisque Skincare. Hi, Lana. How are you?
Leah, I'm fine. Thank you for having me here today.
Yes, I'm really excited for our episode. And I think what's really important is to talk about what does skincare have to do with sports and what does it have to do with wellness? And I think this is something that you can answer as well. And that we just kind of talked about is being confident in our own skin and our own body will help us be confident, whether it's on or off the field.
Yes, I agree, all of that.
So, what inspired you to step into skincare and wellness industries?
I've always had a passion for just being and feeling good. I think it started really with my brother when he was sick. He got sick very young. He was probably around 15, 16. And I mean, he was in the hospital for months. And just, I think, and he's what, maybe, I think it's like six. No lie, he's 9 years younger than I am. So seeing someone that young battle this, and then looking for solutions for him is really what started my whole wellness journey. And then, of course, my own passion for making myself feel better, looking for solutions for that, which then in turned into if it's making me feel good, then let me help other people feel good. So that really, I think, was what started my journey into wellness. And then skincare as a result, again, usually when things impact me and I'm looking for a solution for myself and it works, then I'm going to say, let me share this with other people as well.
Yeah. And can you share your reasoning for creating Lumisque Skincare?
So Lumis Skincare really came about when looking for a different way to approach skin regeneration. I always want something different, something new. I want to have the first solution of its kind for a problem. And, for me, I was looking for non-invasive solutions that were effective that I could do. And I'm a do-it-yourself type of person. So I wanted something that you could do at home. And we came upon carboxytherapy. And so, which was really, it's a different way or different spin on it because you see, carboxytherapy traditionally has been applied with needles.
Mm.
So in Japan, they developed a non-invasive way to deliver carbon dioxide into the skin. And we have the exclusive rights to that technology. So that's how Lumisque was born out of the creation of this new brand, CO2Lift, which stands for carbon dioxide lifting and regenerating for the skin.
Yeah, and can you share a little bit more about what carbox therapy is?
Yes. So it's the therapeutic use of carbon dioxide to regenerate tissue. It's a very natural process that takes place. Once you introduce carbon dioxide into your skin and the pH changes, the concentration of CO2 changes, and that is going to start a cascade of uh of it's going to promote healing, it's going to promote regeneration, it's going to put your body in a situation where oxygen is going to come to that area where the CO2 lift was applied or the CO2 was applied. So that's what carboxytherapy is. The beauty about it also, and the delivery system is that it can be applied everywhere and is versatile. Uh, any part of the body, young, old can use it. There are no side effects because it's just carbon dioxide.
So there's no specific age range for your skincare?
No, no. I mean, you're because of the fact that it can be used for healing. I mean, you can use it on an infant. They use it for conditions like maybe they have eczema or rosacea, or if they have a wound that won't heal, you can use it on as young as an infant. And of course, there's no age limit on where it can be used as well as no there's no area of the body that it cannot be applied.
Hmm. Interesting. So what sets CO2 lift apart from other treatments in the market?
Well, CO2 lift is a new category in skin regeneration. So there's nothing that it really compares with at this time. So why? It's because it's using your own body's natural healing ability to regenerate itself. That's one. So you think about regenerative medicine, people are talking about that. This fits into that very nicely. Also, the fact that it is versatile. Most other products that regenerate you have to, you can't apply it everywhere on the body. You can't apply it on an open wound. Also, most of those other therapies, you need to go into a doctor's office to be able to do it, to be able to apply. They need to cut your skin. They need to pierce the skin barrier. CO2 lift is working on just regular skin. It's going to penetrate to the microcirculatory levels of the skin. So that's what makes it different. And in fact, it works very quickly. So it's been often compared to hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So it's hyperbaric in a box.
Hmm. Nice. So your work goes beyond just aesthetics. How do you see the link between skincare, confidence, and overall wellness?
Well, skin is their largest organ, right? I think skin is more than just beauty. I think it's about visibility. It's what people see. It tells people when you look at yourself and you're healthy, it tells people, first of all, that you take care of yourself when you have good skin. It helps with confidence because when you feel good in your skin, you're going to be better in every aspect of your life. Sports, you're going to be a better mother, you're going to be a better student, employee, employer. You're going to really show up into the world in your best self. That's how important I think skin health is and how it impacts on your ability to perform to your highest level based on how you feel in your skin.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times, as for what I have seen with skincare products, is they don't really market it as that. They don't, they just market it as, anti-aging. It's not so much the confidence part.
Right, right. And I like to think of it more as age management.
Mm.
Nothing is wrong with getting older. I mean, I'm in my mid 50s, and I mean, it's funny because when I look back, I always thought that in your 50s you'd be old. And now I'm like, I'm not old yet. So it's about managing age. And the benefit of aging is the fact that you have more experience. You should have more wisdom. You just want your body to keep up with what your mind is doing. And that's where skin regeneration comes into place.
Yeah. So how do you ensure Lumisque remains accessible and empowering for everyone?
Interesting question. How do I? Well, first of all, it's something that providers can sell to their patients directly. We have another version that's available where people can shop online for it. I think what is important though is the education piece because it's not only the fact that it's effective, but people need to understand why it's so effective. So
Right.
one of the ways we have done is podcasts like this, really reaching different demographics, different audiences, and really educating them on what is the latest and most innovative thing in skin regeneration. And even that phrase of age management is a very different type way, a different way of thinking about getting older. At every age, there are challenges. And so it's about managing the challenges that face you at that particular age or number.
Right. Yeah, and that can be a huge misconception. So injuries or physical changes impact a person or an athlete's sense of self-worth. How can your work help people reconnect with their bodies in a healing and positive way?
Yeah. So one thing, first of all, with injuries, whether it's from a sports injury, whether it's from a surgical procedure that you want to recover from, the CO2 lift is very powerful in healing. In other words, it helps you to heal a wound in half the time that it would normally take. So I think that's one aspect in the fact that physiologically it's working to help heal that part of your body that's injured. But there's also the emotional aspect of it when you are able to have control over your healing. When someone feels that they're participating in their healing, it has a different slant. You don't get as down. You feel more positive about it. You're actively participating, so you feel more purposeful. You feel more driven. You feel there's hope. There's this rainbow at the end of or there's this pot of gold at the whatever that saying is. But yeah, I think it's about participating in your healing. It empowers you to deal with whatever challenges you're facing.
Yeah, I agree, especially like from my experience with injuries. I it's hard to be patient. So I agree, when you participate in your own healing, it feels like you're working towards something better.
Yes, I feel the same way.
Yes. So can you share any stories of transformation, physical or emotional, that remind you of why your work matters?
Oh my goodness, Malia, there's so many. I think readily of the CO2Lift V. We have a vulva vaginal or intimate gel that we have that really goes for all ages. So women in their, you're talking about who are just get sexually active, or maybe even some women who just with painful periods, to women who are menopausal, and to women who have had surgery down there and want to heal. But one story that really impacts me in regards to that, because I think that that is such an under discussed topic of how it impacts the quality of life for us as women, is a woman who had gone through breast cancer. So she survived it. She had chemotherapy, radiation, but that left her with her intimate life suffering. She was newly married. And so, yes, she survived breast cancer, but then what about her quality of life? You survive, and then your marriage is going to suffer. Now, she was introduced to the CO2Lift V by her physician, and she just got her life back. She said her connection with herself, her connection with her husband, it just changed the game, and she felt like herself again. And that stories like that really keep me going and empowers me to recognize that, especially with the CO2Lift V, how important it is to really get the word out there to women that there is a solution when you're going through changes that affect that part of our lives.
Yeah. So, as a female founder and CEO, what have been some of your biggest leadership lessons while growing Lumisque into a globally recognized brand?
Oh my gosh. Leadership lessons. I think a lot of things this journey has taught me, or just reinforced some of the principles that I've always believed in. How important it is to work hard, how important it is to empower other people, because you can't build a company on your own. It
Right.
takes a great team who are on the same page, who have the same messaging. And that has really helped me to, has helped us to grow. So what lessons? Just, I guess, reinforce humility, and that you don't have all the answers, that you have to look to other people, even younger people who you think what kind of experience they have, but they have great ideas.
Yeah.
And then, so that humility allows me to take what they're saying. So we have an open door policy here at Lumisque where people can voice solutions to challenges they have. So we're about solution oriented. So just it helps me to just really continue to work on my humility, patience, especially because I'm not naturally a patient person, and things take time. So, nothing that is worth it, it happens necessarily overnight. So those are some of the things that it has reinforced in me. And I would pass on to other people who are starting this journey from scratch,
Right. It's difficult because we want the answers right away.
for sure.
So, for those trying to build their own wellness routine, where is the best place to start and why should we have one?
Well, definitely, I'm a big routine person, because when you live with certain habits in mind, I mean, you're talking about whether you're doing affirmations, whether you're praying, whether you're doing, physical working out, drinking water. I mean, all those things are habits that I think it's important to have some type of routine. So it's almost automatic. So the less time you have to think about something because it's automatic, it leaves space to do other things. But where should someone begin? Because I think wellness is such a big subject. I mean, for me, some of the non-negotiable things is sleep is non-negotiable, working out is non-negotiable, prayer, meditation, affirmations, journaling. I know that sounds like drinking a liter of water, sorry, 4 liters of water a day. I drink a liter first thing in the morning. Those are some of the things that I think are non-negotiables for me that seem basic because it's part of my routine. Um, but where should someone start if they're not doing any of it? I think it should start with the first thing you do when you get up in the morning is drink a liter of water. I think that by doing that, it wakes you up. It makes you start to function. And then I would say the second most important thing is doing some type of prayer or meditation first thing in the morning. Those two things would be what I would say are essential. And of course, all the other things I listed kind of build on top of that.
Yeah, and how do you stay consistent with that routine?
I think again, it's a habit. I've just been doing it for so long. And so it's something that I can't think of a morning that I have my routine is off, even when I travel, because I have a busy travel schedule. Those are some of the things that I do regardless of travel. So it's developing a habit, so I would say write out a list of things that you think are uh, ideal or good routine, and then just stick with it every day until it becomes who you are.
Yeah, I like that. So, how do you define true beauty and wellness, and how can that perspective encourage not only athletes, but everyone else too at any stage of their journey?
True beauty for me is true beauty really is, I see it in confident people. I see, physically, everyone has a different maybe idea of what the standard of physical beauty is. I appreciate beauty in all forms. I appreciate different looks of different people. I've always been that sort of person. But what I think surpasses that is confidence. When a woman or a man is confident, they just show up differently. Even if physically they may not be the standard that you're looking for, or that you think is necessarily the ideal of what a physically attractive person is. What shines through is how they feel about themselves and confidence. And I think that is going to resonate with, even as you sports, you mentioned, they're going to show up better. When you're confident, you're going to appeal to more people. People are going to be attracted to you because of that confidence. So I think true beauty comes from finding that confidence and then just emanating that to other people.
Yeah. So, many athletes deal with stress and pressure just like everyone else. How can taking care of your own skin be and body be a form of self-care?
Well, because self-care, when I think of it, it's first of all, self-care can look like so many different things. For me, self-care can look like putting on a CO2 lift gel, a mask on my face and neck. It can look like a vajacial with CO2 LiftV. It can look like a walk just when I'm just need to have some outside time and feel grown and to have some grounding. Self-care is just the time that you dedicate to make yourself feel better. So in any area of your life, whether with sports, we all need time to replenish because you cannot serve other people out of an empty cup. So self-care fills that cup up and allows you to be able to share yourself with others. And I think it's important regardless of what field you're in.
Yeah. And what is your mental playbook that keeps you going and, any forms of self-care that you do as well?
Well, my mantra really is you are your own superhero. I believe that all of us as individuals it can contribute something that no one else can. And if you really believe that, then you're going to show up in a very different way to life. But it's visualizing yourself in how that person looks, that woman for me looks, and taking steps every day to become more like that person that you visualize that you want to be successful. I think it involves, as I mentioned before, it involves affirmations, it involves prayer, it involves working out. I mean, I'm getting over an injury. It's funny we're talking about that. And I wasn't able to go to the gym for a couple of weeks. And the way it affected my emotions was just unreal to me. I'm like, man. So it's not just a physical workout, it's part of the whole mental playbook, as you want to put it. So then I had to find other ways to do that, whether than just not going to the gym, but walking outside. I jump on the rebounder, something that's keeping me moving. So my mental playbook would be the things, how we talk to ourselves, the things we say to ourselves. Moving our bodies is important. I would say and visualizing who we are and just taking the steps that are needed every day to become more of that person.
Yeah. So, how would you define success?
How do I define success? Everyone's version of success is different. It's true. I think success is, for me, is not necessarily a destination. It's the journey of doing the things that make you feel fulfilled. Obviously, we have to have ultimate goals,
Mhm.
but we can get success even if we don't reach them right away. Because if we're working towards that goal, we can feel success because we're doing things actively to be able to accomplish the things that we set out to. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, I really like that.
Okay.
Do you have any goals for the future, let's say in the next 5 to 10 years, either for yourself or with Lumisque?
Oh my goodness. That's such a big question now. As I get older, I'm like 10 years. Um, yeah, we have, well, one of the main things are we're focusing a lot on education still. I think because as I mentioned, carboxytherapy is a new category in skin regeneration. Education is still so important. So for the next 5 years, we're going to be heavily still focused on educating what the benefits of carboxytherapy is for every part of the body. Personally, I mean, 5 years, I don't know where, I mean, for me, I'm hoping to be able to go in unnecessarily from in terms of my role to maybe change a little bit of my role here as CEO. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. So, entrepreneurship, like sports, requires resilience. How do you build resilience, either with your job or just in your personal life?
Mhm. Resilience. Okay, how would I do even resilience? How do I find resilience as just bounce back, just keep going regardless? I think that one of my sayings, as well as what I quoted earlier, is just to be a person of action. Once you know the goal you have, you know why you're working towards this goal, then you just have to do. You cannot let your emotions, your anxiety, your fear, or other people's doubt, your own self-doubt get in the way of you moving forward. So resilience for me is just acting regardless of what else is happening. Doing. I love a doer, and that's what I always pride myself on, and I try to continue to be a doer, and that will help you in whatever area of life. So what you fall down today? So what did you didn't win this today? So tomorrow is a brand new day and you can just get up and continue on that road.
Yeah. And have you faced any challenges throughout your career? And if so, how do you overcome it?
Of course, I think anyone in any type of getting into business, entrepreneurship, you face challenges. There's so many different types of challenges. How do I face it? I mean, to me, challenges or obstacles or whatever you want to call it is just part of life. It's a part of growth. It's just like, okay, how are we going to overcome this? And I believe that once you overcome one thing, you grow from it. And then it's just the next one. So it's not, I mean, I think when you expect challenges, you have a different perspective. There's no such thing as just a smooth, well, for me at least. And so, what are some of the challenges specifically that I faced? I mean, when we were scaling, we had challenges of how to really grow, and because we're self-funded, how do we navigate that to continue to put money into something before we actually realize the benefits of it? I rely on a team effort for a lot of things, counsel. I read a lot. I look at the experience of other people who build businesses, and that helps me to overcome the various business challenges that I've had.
Yeah, so you brought up team a lot. I want to know, why is a team so crucial, especially for our own personal development, whether it's with a sports team or just business?
Oh my goodness, team, because no man is an island. There's nothing that you can achieve really on your own. Somebody is going to either be a mentor for you, someone is going to we feed off of each other's energy. In fact, I'm not in terms of sports, the only real sports I've ever done, I've run marathons. And even when you're running a marathon, you actually, for me, my whole strategy is imitating the footsteps of the person in front of me. So if I can imitate their movement, eventually will beat them. And then you look for the one in front of it and you imitate their movement. That's people still helping you. Even in a solo sport as running a marathon, you still need the energy of other people. For business, it's the same thing. You need the energy of other people, and that multiplies into the results that you're going to get. You need ideas. I mean, there's no way to grow a business without a great team. And when I say a great team, people who are like-minded, that has been very important to me. Even above skill, I think what's trumps skill is your energy level. Your energy and your vibe that you give off trumps skill to me, because I can work with someone who not necessarily as efficient in a particular thing, but I can't change their attitude. So they have to come with a good attitude and come with good energy to begin with. And that we've found, fortunately, we've attracted that type of people to our team. And when people don't really match that vibe, they just fall off anyway.
Yeah, so with your goal of educating others, how do you plan on doing that and how are you doing that now?
We do it through various different mediums. We have our providers that we educate through on the podium side where they educate their peers. We have on the consumer side through different social media outlets, through podcasting, is how we educate people right now. Um, through we educate people through influencers who will talk about a subject. Those are the different mediums that we use right now.
Yeah. So what is your biggest piece of advice for those struggling with body image or just self-esteem?
What would be my advice? Um, you know, I would say that you have to go back. It's almost like you need to. For me, I'm a journaler, so I would write just like you're evaluating anything. So I was evaluating this course over this course. I'm going to write down all the pluses and all the minuses and evaluate it. It's the same thing we can do for ourselves. Look at take yourself as another person, like that Lana or Malia as another person. And then you're going to write down. So I'm Lana, so I'm going to write down what are the things that I love about Lana, and what are the things that I want to maybe work on or don't like so much with Lana. And usually I'm hoping that most people will have that list will be longer. I mean, you're going to try and find, just think of Lana as a different person, and you're going to evaluate, okay, really, what does Lana do? And think of her strength, things of her weaknesses. And then you focus on your strengths. And then with your weaknesses or your challenges, you're going to find out what are ways that you can improve on that. And then you need to just brainwash yourself, like it's really, if you're struggling with it, I'm a big advocate of self-talk and speaking to yourself in a positive way. Those things go a long way to help to build your self-esteem. And so really not looking at for other people to help build it, because nobody else can build it. You need to do it for yourself. And once you have that, you hold on to it and keep reminding yourself of who you are.
Yeah, I really like that strategy. So, how can our listeners find your products and learn more about you?
So I have my own website, the lanakerr.com, but my products, CO2Lift.com, CO2Lift.com. Instagram, we're CO2Lift. My personal handle is the Lana Kerr. And my team is very good at responding to DMs, and I also look to responding to questions that people have. So they can find out more information that way. And I'm glad to answer any questions as well.
Yeah, and where do you think they should start? Like what's a good first product you'll recommend?
I would say, well, it depends. It depends on what depends. But I mean, I guess the first thing, try the face. Try the face and see. I mean, I think that we have invested heavily in clinical research and in clinical studies and in double-blind studies for the vulvovaginal component. But try the face, the CO2 lift gel for the face. See how you like it. People love the mousse, the carboxy mousse. That's like a daily application of CO2 lift. I think one of those two products is where you should start. And then you can go into, the other genital products.
Yeah, awesome. So my last question for you is what is most important to you, the destination, the journey, or the company?
The journey. The journey is the most important part because company can, there's so many factors that affect a company that maybe I may not be able to control, but I can always control my journey because I can always control how I move forward in this world. And that's what's important. And I have to live with myself every day. So the journey is definitely for me the most important thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lana, for joining me. To my listeners, mind strong, game on.
Thank you.